Murphy. That's a tough last name, Murph. Hey everybody, thank you for coming here tonight. I'm sorry Wanda Sykes got so mad at you a second ago, but she seems to have calmed down. Thank you for coming. Give it up. Let's give it another round of applause for Murph. Can we please? Thank you. We could not have done this show without him. No, I guess we probably could have done the show without you, Murph. We set up most of the chairs. I'm so excited to be we did. I'm so excited to be back in Worcester with all my high school friends and my elementary school friends here. This is very exciting. I don't know if you guys know this, Worcester is not very popular outside of the city of Worcester, and so I've spent... I know, that was my reaction. What? Yeah, right? What? So I've spent a good chunk of my adult life defending Worcester. I feel like Worcester's like my little brother, you know? It's like kind of a fuck up, but he's family, and I can make fun of him, but you can't make fun of him. So that's how I treat Worcester. You know, he's got a couple drunken disorderlies. I get it. Okay, he's gotten involved with some gangs. It's fine, all right? When he was younger, he put up a statue of a little kid fucking a turtle, but he's a nice kid, and he's family. So leave him alone. He's a nice boy. I'm a proud graduate of St. John's High School. Any St. John's guys in the house? Yeah! Bags? No, just thought that would make you guys feel at home. St. John's was an important, my whole bit is Worcester jokes. No, St. John's was an important 4 years of my life. It turned me into the thoughtful, well-rounded homophobe that I am today, so that was good. I was a high school teacher myself. People ask my students. I have 2 former students here, by the way, so that's gonna, I don't know where they are, but that's really cool. I was a teacher, and people ask me, what was your high school like? And I say it was a lot like Hogwarts, you know? It was like, except it was all guys, obviously. And instead of magical powers, we used to just drop dicks on each other's stuff whenever no one was looking. That was our magic power, actually. We could draw a full dick on anything in any amount of time. People could blink and open their eyes, and there'd just be a... And we didn't have like a Hufflepuff. Harry Potter fans in the house? We didn't have like a Hufflepuff, yeah. Where like Hufflepuff was all like the loser weirdos with no future. We didn't have any of those. Those kids all went to St. Peter Marian. I do this same set in Los Angeles. It gets no laughs. People are like, what's St. Peter Marian? I had one, this is a very white crowd. I had one, I just have to remind myself of that. I had one Jewish friend at St. John's. His name was Max. He was supposed to come tonight, but he's not here. But his name was Max Richmond. He was the only Jewish kid in our class, I think. Josh Weinman? Josh, sit down, Josh. Go get and it was cool because there weren't a lot of black kids in our class, so having a Jewish friend was kind of like the cool thing to do. And obviously everyone wants a black friend, but you'll settle for a Jewish friend because there's nothing more exotic. When you grow up Irish Catholic, there's nothing more exotic than like somebody who just doesn't give a shit about Jesus at all. Like that is cool. That was like, ooh, okay, yeah, he doesn't even get up to get the bread. He doesn't even get in line with the rest of us. Fuck, all right. That kid's badass. That's cool as shit. All right, he doesn't even sing along. He doesn't even hum. That's cool. That's cool. But opening myself, I feel like it made me more intellectual. Like this is gonna be like a shocking. I didn't play like sports in high school. I know. And so I was like a Model UN kid. I was an improv kid. Having a Jewish friend was cool to me, and I think it opened me up to the idea that I'm not like, I don't know. I think God's maybe getting a little smug. I'm not really into God anymore. I don't know if he exists or if he doesn't exist, but I am confident that he's not a fan of ours. Like, I just don't think he likes us very much. And I don't blame him. God made us in his self-image. You ever open your phone to take a picture and it's still on like a selfie mode and you get that like under and you're like, oh, that's not me. That's God. That's how God looks at us. He looks down at us and he's like, ooh, that's my self-image? I need another flood. That's terrible. I was born and raised in Worcester. Worcester's a very, fuck yeah. Worcester, Mass. Not like these other clowns from Clinton and Shrewsbury. I was born in Worcester proper. And I moved to Los Angeles when this summer, this summer, I took a road trip out to Los Angeles with my then girlfriend, now fiance. Yeah. She's not clapping. Look, she's not clapping. She's like, no, I forgot. And you learn a lot about somebody when you spend 3,300 miles in a car with them. For example, we got to Philadelphia, and she learned that I hate tomatoes. She had never known that about me. She was like, oh, I didn't realize that he didn't like tomatoes. And then we keep driving and get about halfway across the country, and I learned that she hates being around me. So, no, what a twist. What an interesting little twist to our relationship. We met at work. We were both high school English teachers, and we met at work, and you know what they say, date the people you work with. The thing to do is to establish meaningful, strings-attached relationships with your coworkers, and that's what we did. And that was where I first heard the expression, don't shit where you eat. I think it's actually something my dad said to me. I was like, I'm dating my coworker, he said, don't shit where you eat. I said, what? And I guess what it means is like you don't want to mix the nasty sort of like gross things that you have to do, like working and shitting, with, I guess you don't have to shit, but with the things that you like love to do, like eating and having sex with your coworkers. And you don't want to mix those two things. But I actually took it one step further because not only did we work together, we actually taught in the same classroom. We were co-teachers, so for 6 hours a day, for 3 years, so like 500 something days, we were locked in a room together for 6 hours. So I don't shit where I eat. I cut out the middleman, I shit directly down my own throat. That's what I do. Yeah. There's so many people here I've known for so long. I taught in Chelsea, Mass. Yeah, Chelsea, Mass. Is a charming, dangerous community just north of Boston, Massachusetts. But I loved it. That's what it says on the Wikipedia page, I think. So that's what I was going with. I thought about going back and teaching at St. John's. Actually, I really did consider that. But I figured if I wanted a bunch of people to call me gay behind my back for the rest of my life, I would have just moved back in with my parents. So it wasn't really something I was interested in. I do think, you guys have been a pretty good crowd so far, but I do think that for me at least, sorry Murph, I do think that, whatever, I hear from behind me. Murph paid us before the show, which was a huge mistake. I think it prepared me well for stand-up comedy because I think I'm immune to heckling. I think it would like bother me, but I don't think it would get under my skin because you could call me an asshole, you could tell me I'm not funny. Until you bring in a 15-year-old Guatemalan girl to call me a faggot in Spanish, you're not gonna get under my skin. It's just not gonna happen because I've heard that shit. So, maricón, by the way, in case you're wondering. Maricón. And I was 22 when I started teaching, and I didn't know Spanish. I took French in high school like a fucking idiot. And so I didn't know Spanish, and so people would say maricón, and I swear to God, I thought it was their way of saying like American. Like you know, like they were calling me a gringo, like, oh, he's American, like he's a maricón. And I'd be like, you know what? Carlos, I am a maricón. And to be honest with you, I'm proud to be a maricón, and I think with my help, you can be a maricón too, Carlos. So I don't teach anymore. I'm not a teacher anymore. One thing they don't tell, I should have gotten fired a lot as a teacher. I was pretty good at it, but they don't tell you in teacher training like how easy it is to just like completely ruin a kid's life if you take a misstep, you know? Yeah. And like, so I did that, I think. My first year of teaching, I was 22, and I had a plan going in. I knew it was like a tough community, but I've seen hardball. I know. You know what I mean? I I just know, I know what to say, I know whatever. And so I go into the plan, I'm like, I'm gonna be the funny teacher. It's easy. That's the number one way to get through to the youth. I will just be the funny teacher and you know, that'll be it. And so I get my roster my first day of school and I'm looking at the list of names and I see this name pop up and it's Eric Estrada. And it's Eric with a K. So I'm like, fuck, okay, this is great. I got my first joke at least. And very briefly the thought popped into my head, like, this show is 35 years old. These kids are not gonna know. For those of you who don't know, Eric Estrada was an actor on the show Chips. He's a very famous Latino actor, and it was this show called Chips, the California Highway Patrol. So the first class comes around, and I'm looking at the class, I'm taking roll, and I get to Eric Estrada, and I say, Eric Estrada, huh? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna call you Chips. And the whole class just bursts out in laughter. Like, uncontrollable laughter. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, oh, you guys know about Chips? Okay, cool. I knew it was funny, but it was still a risk to, you know, because this is a pop culture reference that is 10 years before I was born. But they all knew it, and then I kind of felt rude and like a little bit insensitive, because like, of course they know Eric Estrada. He must be a pillar of the Hispanic community. He must be like our Tom Cruise, like, oh, Eric Estrada. So now in my head, these kids have like Eric Estrada posters in their house, and they go home and they're talking to their parents, and they're like, oh, my teacher's so funny, muy. I don't even know how to say. I actually don't even know how to say funny in Spanish, but muy funny. And so for a week straight, I'm calling this kid Chips. He's my crutch. I'm a brand new teacher, and I'm like, Chips, what do you got for me, Chips? Who's the protagonist, Chips? What's the climax, Chips? Chips. And every time it's full laughter. And so the last day of the week rolls around, and I'm at a staff meeting with a bunch of teachers, and I'm like, you know, I walk in with my chest up high. I'm like, these fucking people, what have you guys been doing the last 20 years? I figured out this job in like 30 minutes, so just make a joke and everybody will love you. And so I eavesdrop on these conversations just to find out how bad they are. And I hear this teacher, Jean Lynch Galvin, lean into, he isn't Jean, she leans into another teacher and she says, yeah, I had to throw Lewis out of class. He called Edgar Chips, so I had to throw him out. And I was like, huh. I had this moment where I was like, you know, I don't have to ask. I can just pretend like I never heard that, never called a kid Chips again. But I was too curious, and so I leaned in and I said, hey, Jean, Brandon, I'm the funny teacher. You probably heard of me. Question for you. When you say you have to throw a kid out of class for calling another kid Chips, like, what's that all about? And she says, oh yeah, you're new to Chelsea. Chips is like a slang. It means like retarded. And as the color drained out of my face, I thought, okay, well, I definitely don't have this job anymore, but now it's probably about not getting arrested for a hate crime of some sort. I probably told him he could be a maricon at some point too if he wanted to. So I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. And so I apologized to him, and I explained it to Jean. Jean was not very forgiving of all this, by the way, because I told her what happened. And she said, these kids were born in like the year 2000. They don't know anything about Eric Estrada. And I said, but it was Eric with a K though. Like, so how was I not supposed to? And so I apologized I had in front of the whole class at 5 that night. Oh shit, cool. I didn't think I had 20 minutes. So I had to apologize to the whole class, and if explaining it to Jean was hard, explaining it to a bunch of 14-year-olds was almost impossible. And it was tough because part of me was like, I feel so bad for humiliating this kid and like making fun of him, and the whole class laughed at him. And then part of me was like, what a waste of a hilarious joke though. I mean, Eric with a K, what are the odds that it would even be the same name? So I moved to Los Angeles. I quit teaching, obviously, and I moved to Los Angeles, and people ask me like if LA has changed me, and I think the answer is almost definitely yes. Like I drive a Prius now, which, if you know me, probably isn't too much of a surprise. Not because I'm like environmentally friendly, but just because I kind of like seem like a Prius driver. Like there were people here I went to elementary school with who were like, yeah, probably a Prius at some point in his life. Because I used to drive a pickup truck when I lived in Boston, and I'm not a pickup truck guy. I was thinking about this. I don't own like a pair of work gloves. We have like a wrench. It's definitely Lauren's. It's definitely not mine. I don't own any of that stuff. The most useful part of having a truck for me was that the bed of the truck was high enough up where I thought like, okay, it's probably not likely people can hear whatever I'm singing along to. So that's nice. The other cool thing about living in Los Angeles is that I am the ugliest person within 200 miles of where I live. And that is a huge change, no offense to everybody in this room, but the bar is a lot higher out there. And not only that, but my fiance is from Maine. Have you guys ever been to Maine? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like an 8 in Maine. It's out of control. I have a bachelor's degree and no DUIs. I could be the governor of Maine. If I drove to Maine tonight, I would be the governor. I'm an aristocrat in Maine. So that's been really hard because I've slowly discovered what her type is, and spoiler, it's not me. I'm not her type. Because you know there are other types out there. One type that's out there, there are these really sexy grocery store dads. And they're all single, and they all have really like sexy 3-year-old sons. Like they just like their whole family is sexy. And they're walking through the grocery store, and I catch my fiance checking them out, and I'm just like, yeah. You should check this guy out, because this guy, and it's not even like he's sexy, but he's also like happy, and like he has like a healthy relationship with his son, and he's got no wedding ring on, and I'm just like, I should go. I feel like I should leave. I feel like I should go. I'm sorry. I want to pull like a Good Will Hunting, like just kind of like no note, no nothing, just kind of go, you know, and then she'll be happy, and I'll leave. Yeah. Thank you all. No, it's fine. My grandmother, when I was a little kid, my grandmother had this pillow, and it said, if you love something, let it go. And if it never comes back to you, it's probably finally having genuine orgasms. So, and I love that pillow. It's my favorite pillow. So because of this, I've been trying to lose weight, and it's not going well. I don't know how else to describe it. When people talk about losing weight, it's not going well. And it might be because this is the first time I ever tried to do it. And trying to lose weight at 27 is like, for me at least, was like trying to lose my virginity in college, where it's not successful, number one. And number two, it's like, it's the only thing in the whole world I want, but you would never know it if you just sort of like followed me around for an afternoon and like watched the decisions that I make. You'd be like, well, no, I mean, didn't you just have chicken fingers yesterday at lunch? Why would you also get them today? All my friends are getting laid in college, and I'm like, hey, I would like to get laid. How do I get laid? They're like, okay, step one, maybe cut it down to 1 improv troupe a week. Maybe 1 improv troupe. Get out of the debate club, maybe. There's just so many things you could do. Just go back, make the opposite of every decision you've ever made, and come to today. It's pretty great. That actually is probably the only red flag I have about my relationship. And we're getting married, but the only red flag I have, thank you. The only red flag I have is that she is, like, still willingly have sex with me. It's like, how am I supposed to trust your taste in preschools for our kids if this is what does it for you? Jesus Christ! I turn myself off sometimes. I'll go to masturbate and then I'll just like whisper to myself like, I don't know, babe, I'm tired tonight. I have a headache. I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm not feeling it. I'm really happy to be back here. This is really cool. Yeah. I had my high school graduation party in this room, which is really cool. And my parents have been really supportive, maybe too supportive, actually, now that I think of it. Yeah, and sometimes I'm driving around Hollywood Boulevard playing Frogger with homeless people looking for a parking spot. I'm like, wish mom and dad had gone to bat a little harder on a finance major. or something. But they've been they've been really, really supportive. I'm always concerned, or I used to always be concerned when I was little about my life being the Truman Show. That's something that you shake as an adult because it's just not a show worth tuning into at this point. Truthfully, like I think my little league coach is here, Mr. Heavey. Where is he? First of all, I'm pretty sure he said nice to meet you. That's how forgetful my little league career was. When we saw each other, that it's bad TV. Like if my life is the Truman Show, people are not sitting through 3 seasons of me striking out looking because I don't know how to hit a curveball. It's just people aren't watching that anymore. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm gonna talk for 2 seconds. I got the light, but I don't fucking care. I was actually born in Worcester, so I'm just kidding. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Ant Amarillo. Ant is he's headlining tonight. Yeah, give it up. Yeah. He is the reason there's so many fucking Italians at Fiddler's Green. What the hell is that all about? There have never been this many Italians in this room. The fire alarm was going off at one point. It was like, warning, we've been invaded. Ant and I have a lot in common. We both do stand-up comedy in Los Angeles. I followed him out there and do stand-up with him. We both love the Patriots and the Boston Red Sox. And yeah. And if we were gay porn stars, we would probably be in the same category. Which that was not a proposition. That was just a thought that I had about us. I don't know, Murph, are you paying for that too? This has been the most fun I've ever had in my life. Thank you all so much. I'm Brendan Sargent.
Brendan Sargent.